Was letting go of Juan Soto still the right move? The Yankees season came to an end with their loss to the Blue Jays last night, and after letting Juan Soto go in the offseason, they end up getting knocked out 2 rounds earlier. Myself and many others said this was a good move. It made a more complete team. Is this still the case after a disappointing ending to the 2025 season? Yes, despite the result, the Yankees were a better team this year. They finished with the same record as last year, so clearly they weren't worse, but the numbers actually show they were a little better. They scored 34 more runs as a team this year than they did last year. That's without Soto and including the fact that Judge had a slightly worse year this year compared to last year. In fact, the team OPS jumped from 761 in 2024 all the way up to a league-leading 787 this year. Soto wasn't a pitcher or a good defender, he was just a great hitter, and the offense was actually better without him, showing that they had a more complete lineup this year than last year. How about the pitching side? Well, it looks like it got a little worse. Their .374 staff ERA back in 2024 jumped up to .391, and they allowed 17 more runs as a team. Not a lot, but still, it's an increase. However, this can partly be explained by a lack of health. Only 3 Yankee starters reached 100 innings this season, and Garrett Cole missed the entire year. This is only speculation, but a healthy Yankees pitching staff this year would have been even better than the one they had last year. And again, Soto wasn't a pitcher. Signing Soto would have prevented the signing of Max Fried, who was the guy who stabilized the Yankees' rotation all year long. And that just brings me back to my original point. Letting Soto go allowed them to sign Fried, it allowed them to build a more complete bullpen, a more complete lineup, and just turn them into a better and more well-rounded team. Having Soto would have been great, but they were already the best offense in baseball without him. Signing Soto would have meant an even better offense, but it would have come at the cost of their rotation, their bullpen, and their defense. The reality of baseball is that oftentimes you make the right move and it just doesn't work out, just like sometimes you can barrel a ball and it goes right into somebody's glove. There's not a doubt in my mind the Yankees were better off long-term and better off this year by letting Soto walk. And clearly having Soto didn't solve all of the Mets' problems. Brian Cashman is no genius, he's made plenty of mistakes, but letting Soto go was still the best outcome for the Yankees long-term and even this season, despite the early exit. But what do you think? Would this team have been better with Soto? Do you wish they kept him? Let me know down below.